So dating apps do not work for 90% of men. In this video, I'm going to teach you how you can be in that 10% where dating apps will work, specifically how to beat the Hinge algorithm. As an average looking guy, Hinge can be the best dating app in the United States, or it can be by far the worst dating app in the United States. It all depends on how favored and beloved you are by their precious algorithm. And dating apps never worked for me until I got this. So I want to explain my point in kind of like a story format. So I remember it was 2018. I started to think like, okay, or I started to realize or perceive, what am I trying to say? Notice, I guess, is that this digital dating, this online dating, people meeting on Instagram, people meeting on dating apps, it's not going anywhere. It's here to stay. The statistics are that about 50% of all romantic relationships in the US begin on some form of social media, and it's increasing by 3 percentage points every year. So it's not going up by 3%, 3 percentage points. So it's 50, then it'll be 53, 56, 59, 62, 65, et cetera. And probably by the time, by the year 2030 or 2035, it'll be, 75 to 80% of all romantic relationships between heterosexual couples will start with some form of social media. So it's 2018 and I'm like, I'm shadow banned, the algorithm is broken, or maybe I'm thinking, I'm ugly, I'm not photogenic. Why is this working for other guys? Why does the algorithm hate me? Why does it show me ugly girls? Why do I get no matches? Why? Okay, like why can I pick up girls in person? Because if you guys don't know me, Owen Cook, I'll put a picture of him on the screen right now. RSD Todd or Todd V Dating, good friends of mine. I used to assist with Real Social Dynamics on boot camps. If you don't know who these people are, don't worry about it. But the original like pickup artist guys. But I'm like, why can't I do this online? And right around that time, a website called Photo Feeler came out. Zero affiliation with this website called Photo Feeler. I don't care if you use it or not. But for a small fee, they will have a panel of real women rate your attractiveness in photos. And these bitches are fucking harsh. Like when you get like your rating back and they rate you like 3.5 or a 4, you want to see who's on the other end. You're like, okay, bitch, like what the fuck do you look like that you're rating me a fucking 3? You know what I mean? But anyway, when I put all these photos into Photo Feeler that I had, and sure enough, they all came back, rating me a 3 or a 4. And I'm like, that's it. I never knew. I guess in person I could show more confidence or, whatever it was. But I thought, okay, I'm not one of these guys that dating apps work for. I'm in the 90% that they don't work for. I am not, nor can I ever be in the 10% that dating apps do work for. And thankfully I was wrong. Here was the big light bulb epiphany moment. I'm, putting more photos through and they're just coming back, 3, 4. And then all of a sudden this one photo comes back as like a 7.5. And I'm like, okay, why am I like twice as attractive? It's not like, 3.54, 4.5, 3, 3.8, and then I got a 6 or a 5. It was like a 7, like 7.5 was almost an 8. It was like maybe like a 7.7. I don't know, but it was like almost an 8 too. And I'm like, can't be like, I'm gonna, I'm gonna like, upload the next photo. I got lucky, some girl, clicked the wrong button, it could, well, they do it like dispersed across 20 women. So you get an average of what 20 random women vote. And then sure enough, the next day, same results. I get a 7.5 thereabouts on the same photo. I'm like, did they get a new, okay, I'm going to test one of the old photos. So I test like one of my older photos that I'd previously gotten a 4. And that one that got a 4 previously is still getting a 4. And the one that got a 7.5 is still getting a 7.5. And I repeated this again like 3 times. I'm like, okay, why does this photo always rate a 7.5 and why does this photo always rate me a 4? And then I put the higher, like the better rated photo as my main photo on, I think it was either Tinder or Bumble at the time. This is 2018, so I don't think Hinge was a thing yet. And then sure enough, oh, I'm not shadow banned. Oh, the dating app isn't broken. Now, the results still weren't that great, but they went from like, literally nothing to like a match here and there if I bought some booze and did some extra stuff like that. But like, it was like literally nothing. So what was it? That photo, the lighting, the fashion, the angle that had been taken at, I looked a lot more attractive in that photo. So we're going to put in the editing right now. I'm like screen sharing with my phone. Here is what most of the photos that I initially had run through that website, Photo Feeler, the format that they were in. And here's the format that all your social media is in. Your Instagram, your dating app is probably within this format. And I call it the camera roll method. So you guys have the car selfie, classic. not good lighting, not good expression, terrible fashion, selfies. Yeah, this is mostly what you guys have. Photos where, yeah, you took a selfie or maybe you tried to pose. Like, here's me, like trying to pose for a photo. And you thought like, okay, yeah, here's another mirror selfie. I think this one was taken by my mom on like Christmas morning, circa 2022, pre hair transplant, as you can tell. And yeah, like this is just mostly, oh my God, I look like a fucking goblin right there. This is just mostly what you guys post. I call it the camera roll method. What that means is you're like, fuck, I got to make a Hinge. I got to, make an Instagram post, let people know that I'm still alive. I haven't posted in a while. Let me just see what's already exists, what already is like out of focus and stuff like that. Yeah, terrible, like way too dark, bad exposure, if you know what that means. Um, and yeah, you just post whatever was lying around in your camera roll. Here's the difference. No one ever taught you about the Fantastic Five in photography, so we're going to talk about it right now. So that is the camera roll method. Now I'm going to talk about what can happen when you plan your photos from the jump before you even leave for the day. You go out and you know what you're going to wear, how you're going to pose, what environment you're going to be in. You have studied how to make decent facial expressions. And I don't know, the lighting is good, whatever. There's 5 of these things, right? So let's just look at this photo right here, okay? So I have the photo on the screen still. The Fantastic 5 are lighting, fashion, grooming, location, and making a comfortable expression. There's actually a 6th one that's a bonus, okay? That's optional, but I do it in every single photo as well. And I'll reveal that towards the end of the video. But yeah, for right now, the bonus number 6, what should we call it? If it's before it was the core 4, then I add another one. It was the Fantastic 5. Should we call it like the sexy 6 or I don't know, whatever. We got to think of a clever acronym for the 6th one. Once I realized this, it was night and day. And you guys can see the results as I'm scrolling through these, right? If you kind of remember what the camera roll method pics look like, okay, like for example, nobody has a photo like this just lying around on their camera roll, right? Where maybe you're not the buffest guy, but actually look low-key kind of jacked. The environment is amazing. The fashion is amazing. The lighting is perfect. The environment. The thing about these high-status, luxurious environments is that the implication of you being there is that you're rich, you're successful, you're high status, your life is dope, etc. The same way that if you pose with like a pet or an animal, that's like one of the earliest tricks to get a lot of matches is like, yeah, post a picture with a dog, and those are good, those work. But this day and age, beautiful women are looking for men of status, and the environment can dictate a lot about status for you. So actually mute this video. Okay. Nobody just has them giving a speech dressed in a blazer to a room full of people just lying around. You can post videos on Hinge, mind you. We're going to talk about specifically Hinge in a second, how to beat the algorithm. This is the start right here. Actually, a little preamble that I forgot. I'm going to get back on track in a second. If you're in the United States and you're really unattractive, specifically really, really overweight, this isn't going to work for you on attractive chicks. I can't help anybody. I'm not a grifter. If you're chubby and overweight and you're older, you can be a passport bro. I don't live in the United States. For those of you new here, I live in Latin America somewhere. Let's just say I don't like to give out my full location anymore. But I live, somewhere in Latin America. And you got to be realistic about the level that you're at and how hot you want the girl to be. Now, with everything I'm about to teach you here, if you don't want to leave the United States, you have to at least be like really, really fat. You have to understand grooming. You can grow a beard and kind of like, give the appearance of like more of a jawline. You can whiten your teeth. You can get a hair transplant if you're going bald. You can hit the gym and get enormous 13-inch biceps like I have. Joking, I'm in like okay shape, but not great. And I want to show some more stuff where the hidden technique of number 6 in that Fantastic 5 is coming up in a second, and more stuff about how to beat the algorithm. But it's not going to work for you now. There are other better ways to meet women, which we'll talk about in a second, but I want to finish what I have to say about the camera roll method versus, intentionally planned, okay? Nobody has a photo like this just lying around in their camera roll with the 2 insanely beautiful girls, and you're at the nicest restaurant in town, and so it's on my table somewhere. You have like an LED light panel. I wish I had it with me. It's on my table over there, but Yeah, you have like an LED light panel to light up the environment. And when I stopped doing the camera roll method and I started doing everything where my photos were intentionally shot, like here's even like this guy right here, right? This is a guy that I helped get photos. You see his before photo, like in that like blue or sorry, purple, like in that stupid purple room. And this guy's a Chad, but girls aren't swiping on like the purple room guy or like the sun is in my face. And because the angle is weird, my neck looks like a toothpick photo on the left. They're going for, you know, the hunky man on the right. You know, same thing. This is a good friend of mine, Austin Holloman, a guy that I helped. These were his, you know, camera roll photos before. Yeah, you can even see these are photos like shot on the same day. Even guys like Brad Pitt, like anybody could take a good photo or a bad photo. I mean, you see Brad on the left. If you were to, like, if he wasn't famous, if Brad Pitt had never been a famous actor and you showed the picture of him on the left to a bunch of girls, I don't think any girls would say he was handsome. It's taken in the middle of him talking. The angle, for whatever reason, like he doesn't look good on the left, even though he's a handsome guy. On the right, he's older. Like he's probably like 10 years older on the right, yet he looks way better 10 to 15 years older than he does on the left. You know, actresses, women and stuff like that, you know, can take a bad photo. This is the guy, Ben, that I helped out. I did an experiment with Ben where we did camera roll photos. It was like camera roll plus. Like they were better than most people's camera roll photos. They were still pretty decent for camera roll photos versus like, you know, being completely planned and set up from the beginning. He got 3 matches on the camera roll photos and 19 matches on the non-camera, like the professional ones. And I've noticed, you know, some results, like, you know, for me, it's not even like triple the results. It's like from absolute 0 to like, you know, pretty good results. Yeah. And look at this, like, look at the before and after. Actually, these photos were taken on the same day. The one on the left isn't technically a camera roll photo because I tried to, you know, set it up right, and it still came out shit. I look like a fucking goblin here on the left, and I look like a fucking GQ model all posed up on the right. So just, you know, more and more evidence. Yeah, these photos were taken on the same day, etc. And that's that. Now I want to talk specifically a bit about the Hinge algorithm. Okay. So the first thing is photography and not being like overweight. Or if you are overweight, understanding you probably have to go overseas to find a good woman, or you can use Instagram, which we'll talk about in a second. So actually, let me talk about that now. I will talk to you about how to beat the Hinge algorithm, but you probably don't even want to in the first place. You can just meet women on Instagram. Let me say that back. You guys don't need a dating app in 2025 if you have the right strategy and you know what the fuck you're doing. If you have a sick social media that looks like all the professionally planned photos that I was showing, super well dressed, in blazers, at the nice rooftop lounges, giving a speech room full of people, at a dinner table in a beautiful place with cool guys and other beautiful women that aren't directly like touching you, but just kind of there in the environment, adding value, making you look high status. You do not need a Bumble. You do not need a Hinge. I'll talk about how to beat the algorithm on Hinge. You can do that. You can still invest some time. Look, maybe you'll find a needle in the haystack. Most girls on dating apps are kind of low quality, but not all of them. So maybe you can find those few exceptions. But you can just meet women on Instagram. So let me actually talk about something. So speaking of Instagram, at the time of making this video, I am experiencing a matrix attack. Angry feminists have gotten my Instagram banned, but it's cool. I'm getting it back in a few days. You can go to my Instagram, RedBeardRants1, and message me the word audit, AUDIT, if it even exists. And if it doesn't, you can join my free community on this platform called Skool, SKOOL, and just message me the word audit on there. I don't know. You should be able to find me. I don't know. Go to my website and maybe there'll be an alternative contact method. Email me. I don't know, but really annoying when my Instagram gets shut down. But I can, you know, help you set up all your, I can tell you like literally in your city, this is the photography you should use. This is how you should pose. This is what you should wear. And actually, let me jump ahead to something. This is the sixth one here. I'll go back to Hinge in a second. Don't worry, I'm not getting too off track here. The sixth one you can do is touch up your photos, right? So if you guys could just get a, well, actually, let me just leave it like this, orient the phone the right way. If you guys could just get a physique shot, even if your physique is just like not quite there, but almost there. I'll show another one too. Again, on this photo, I'm a little bit scrawny, and it wouldn't be like super embarrassing to show this physique on Instagram or a dating app, but pales in comparison to this, right? So Wow. Crazy, crazy difference. And you understand too, like, no girl would ever be like, I tell this story all the time. No girl would ever be like, okay, she's looking at this physique. Oh, damn, he's kind of hunky, low key, got a good body, right? And then we go out on a date. We're eating dinner. She's laughing at my jokes. She's hanging on every word when I tell a story. She's completely and utterly in my frame. We have a really good connection. Then I take her home. She's ripping off my clothes. I'm ripping off her clothes. I throw her in the bed. It's dark. We've shared a glass of wine. And then right I'm about to get on top of her. She's like, wait. Hold on. Okay. Turn on the lights real quick. Okay. Just what I thought. You are 10% more muscular on Instagram, buddy. Like, would not happen. So you can get a physique shot. Even if your physique is kind of close, we can help you with these type of shots. Don't worry. And, I don't necessarily recommend doing anything like this, but this just kind of to show you like the power of what's possible, right? Of like, just, I don't know, kind of like I just did this kind of flex, show off my skills. Now, back to the Hinge algorithm. The way the Hinge algorithm works is like this. When you, like, we can stop showing the screen share on the video now. When you're on Hinge, it's going to show you a mixture of hot girls and ugly girls. It'll probably cut you some slack and show you the really hot girls in your area right away. But if you're not being swiped right on a lot, it's going to immediately lock you into a cohort. It's going to immediately rate you and only show you girls that it feels are on your same level of attractiveness, aka ugly girls. And you're going to be shown land whales, swamp monsters, and half-eaten zombies, I don't know, are going to be the girls that it's going to show you. You're going to wonder how a woman could even be that ugly in the year 2025 with so much access to gyms and so many makeup tutorials and so much plastic surgery available, okay? If you're stuck in that algorithm, you have to delete your account. If you're stuck in that cohort where the algorithm is showing you butt ugly girls, sometimes deleting all your photos and re-uploading new ones can save you. I don't recommend it. You can try that first as a last-ditch effort. Other than that, delete. Don't deactivate. Permanently delete your Hinge account and then wait a day or so. You don't really have to. You can just immediately open a new Hinge account on the same phone number, the same Apple ID. I don't care who told you on Reddit that you have to get a new cell phone and get a new number. Listen, maybe if you're doing this every few days or something like that, eventually you want to get a different device ID, a different phone number, but you certainly don't have to, okay? If you're just going to reset it once a month or something like that, you're not going to get banned for deleting your Hinge once a month. If you do this every other day, I don't know. I can't say for that, right? And what's going to happen is when your account is new again and you have new photos, assuming you followed what I said here and you don't do, this like camera roll BS, but you actually got really good photos, maybe you touch them up and cheated a little bit like I showed, then you are going to see hot girls again. And if you start getting some swipes right, then you will actually stay in that cohort, actually be shown hot girls. So that's how you beat the algorithm, right? You stop being a fat piece of shit. You go to the gym. Look, guys, you can't be overweight as a man in 2025. Like, I don't care what fucking excuse you have. Like, getting really muscular is difficult. You have to have, go to the gym for an hour to an hour and 15 minutes, 6 days a week. Your diet has to be on point. You have to be counting calories damn near. You have to be sleeping like a god. You can't be stressed out and overworked and sleeping 5 hours a week. It's really hard to put on muscle, but you just have to not be fat. And the reason why I suggest going on Instagram a lot more too is because you can show off so much more of your lifestyle and also your personality through video on Instagram. Actually, right now in the editing, we will show my famous Siri video right now. So let's play the Siri video.
Alexa, how's the weather today?
Who is Alexa?
Oh, sorry. Siri.
Seriously, who's Alexa?
Nobody. Forget about it. Can you just tell me, please, what's the weather going to be like today?
Why don't you ask that bitch Alexa to tell you the weather?
Okay, so you saw that. I did a version of that in Portuguese, same video, but I did it in Portuguese. And when I was just adding random women on Instagram, like following them in Brazil, private account, public account, didn't matter. This tripled the amount of girls that would match with me on Instagram, meaning they would follow back. So if I had 3 out of 20 or, 1 or 2 out of 20, because I'll do this to 20 girls a day, 20 girls every goddamn motherfucking day I would do this with, okay? Monday, 20 girls. Tuesday, 20 girls. That's 600 girls a month. Yes, I did this. There's a method to the madness. I'll explain in a second why volume is so important. But that video, that charming video content, tripled the rate from 7 out of 10 to your, put some screenshots of like, you know, like I blur their faces and I just kind of count out the girls. We can scroll through these a little bit. I know you can pause the video and zoom in and try to see the girls' faces, whatever. Like these are bad bitches, right? These are not like, you know, your typical neighborhood, you know, 5 or something. The girl you had a crush on in high school who was actually just a 6. So these are actually like, you know, top tier girls, right? Even though I'm an average looking guy. And the reason why volume, I talked about this before in other videos, but I call it, you have to get to a universal 6. I am a universal 6, okay? Beard, eyes, hair, face, body, height, income, everything included. I am certainly above average. If you want to comment now, this guy's ugly and his eyes are too close together. I've never heard anybody tell me that in real life. I don't know what the camera does to like the lens, maybe to do a different lens or something, or maybe my eyes are a little close together. No one's ever told me that in real life. Hot, young, 21-year-old, submissive, big booty, morena, Latina girls think I'm fucking sexy. So I care what they think. I'm not here to please you. If you want to call me ugly in the comments, you can do that, but you are not my target demographic. I don't make, you know, a dating app profile or an Instagram profile to try to turn you on, big boy. So calm down, okay? I do it for the women. Now, once you achieve at least a universal 6, you're not totally gross to touch, then it just becomes a volume game. This is why I said I did it to 20 girls a day. I actually outsourced this with an online dating virtual assistant. Yeah, again, like I said, get inside my Skool community. You should be able to find like posts that I've made and click my name and find a way to message me. I don't think if you have a working human brain, it can be hard to figure out how to click the link in the video description, make an account on Skool and message me. And again, Instagram's better if you're watching this in the future, but what can I do? Matrix attacks, people out to get me, and I will get it back eventually. So who cares? So don't do camera roll method. Plan out all your shots. There's also free training in my Skool community. That's another reason to join. You don't have to fuck. You are totally welcome to try this on your own. If you don't want to pay me, obviously it's not super cheap. It's actually probably way less than what you're thinking, but it's not super cheap, nor is it very expensive to work with me to have. Like, I can just create this whole fucking profile for you. I can give you the entire fucking strategy of how to find 20 beautiful girls in your area every single day on Instagram. Bro, stop using dating apps, boys. Listen, you can use dating apps. You can buy the boosts. I already told you with Hinge how to reset yourself in the algorithm, how to get better photos. You can do voice notes on Hinge, work really well. You can also post videos like you. Remember the video I showed earlier of me giving a speech? That can make you look super, super high status. I wonder how that would work as like your first thing. I'm not even sure. Can you put a video as the first piece of content? Let me know in the comments. You can obviously, you know, photo and video are allowed on Hinge, but I don't know if I'm pretty sure you can actually. Yeah, I'm 99% sure you can. You can have the video be the first thing. That's going to stand out. Like, what are you giving a speech about? It's going to imply wealth and success. And by the way, I know some of you guys thinking, but what happens when she meets me in real life and my image online doesn't match blah, 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 my imprint? Listen, MMA fighters may fight once a year, twice a year. Some of them fight like 4 or 5 times a year, but some of them fight like literally once or twice a year. You go to that MMA fighter's Instagram, like Conor, I don't know what's on Conor McGregor's Instagram, but if he had all these like, you know, fight videos of him, you know, fighting on Instagram, dude hasn't fought an MMA in probably like, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 years. Or let's say you're this big real estate guy. You spoke at a conference once, you took a boys trip to Aspen, you went skiing once, and you fix up one commercial property that year. Your Instagram is going to consist of the one ski trip you took, the one speech you gave, and the one commercial property you fixed up. Your day-to-day is just work and gym, bro. Like that's what everybody's everybody's day-to-day is. Unless you're like, you know, you won the lottery, you have unlimited money, you're retired, you have some weird set of circumstances where you're an influencer and you have some very different lifestyle. 99% of people's life is just you work during the week and then go to the gym and then do the same thing. Girls know that. They get that. Just because you went to Aspen once or did XYZ thing one time, I mean, she's going to think like, well, you know, he spoke at a conference. That's what I saw on his Hinge. So he's just going to be taking me to fucking conferences all day. Or, you know, oh, he touched up his photos to make his jawline, you know, 10% better. Or, you know, his biceps are, you know, 10% bigger, bro. You should be worried that she doesn't live up to her social media image. Don't worry about, you know, well, but in real life, she's going to see without the filter and know that the biceps are, you know, 14 and a half inches on Instagram, but they're 13 in real life. She's not going to notice. She's going to be so in your frame by then, and you're going to notice that this fucking chica doesn't look as good as she portrayed herself to be. Makeup, angles, lighting, filters, etc. AI, Photoshop, this and that. Girls are like all the like editing stuff that like only professional people could do with Photoshop is being a lot more accessible now for women. So don't do camera roll method. Plan out all your shots. You can use Hinge and dating apps, understand how algorithms work. Once you're stuck in the ugly cohort, or if you're not getting matches, you're fucked. You have to delete your account and make a new one. If you're doing this a lot, you can go to textverified.com and rent a new phone number. You can like buy a new cheap used phone off of eBay if you really want to like, you know, get crazy with this stuff. But you really do need the good content. You need Universal 6. Otherwise, dating apps won't even work for you. You got to do a lot of volume because, again, some girls will prefer dark skin, black eyes, light skin, black eyes, blue eyes, Asians. If you're a short Indian guy in your 40s, it may just be cooked. You may have to go to another country. I cannot help everybody. I am not a grifter. I can help a lot of you guys. If you're 45, ugly, and Indian, and fat, and broke, and you want to date beautiful blonde girls in Manhattan, I cannot help you. You got to go somewhere else, bro. It ain't it. Like, good professional photography ain't going to save you at that point, okay? This is not for everybody. I don't, you know, make promises to clients that I can't keep, or just random fucking viewers on YouTube. So meet girls on Instagram, get the charming, funny video content that I talked about, reach out to me if you motherfuckers want help, and stop using dating apps, period, even though you can if you want. Cheers. Peace out, boys.